today's date? Okay, so I've officially been 24 for 2 weeks now. And there are some things that I've like learned from this like early 20s like arc in my life that like I feel like I need to share. Because I feel like the 20s or early 20s are kind of like romanticized in a way of being with your friends and going clubbing and going out and, you know, meeting people and enjoying your life and all this and all that. And for some people maybe it is like that, but I feel like a lot of people now don't see life like that anymore. Or I don't know, or just don't experience that. Because my early 20s kind of were weird. Like when I turned 19, everything kind of went, I'm not gonna say downhill, kind of like a roller coaster. It was just kind of like, oh, this is great, oh wait, what's happening, oh great, oh wait, what's this, oh that's fantastic, oh what? You know, it was kind of like that. I guess confusing, like learning things and finding yourself and stuff like this. So it's just like a bunch of stuff that I feel like I've learned throughout the years that I wish I knew when I was 19, and I feel like I would not have been so like hurt or as hurt as I've been through the years or whatever. Let's get into it. I wrote some stuff down. I always write things down. This is something I kind of learned in therapy recently. People are extremely self-serving, and I've said this in a lot of other videos, but people will always think of themselves before they think of you or before they think of anyone else, because in reality, like, you live in your own self and you live in your own brain, and if I want to do something because I want to do it, I'm not going to think about anyone else. Well, that's not how I used to be, but I am like that now. But a lot of people around me were like that, and I never understood that, because whenever I wanted to do something, I would always like tell them like, hey, I want to do this, like we should go do this. It was just like people are extremely self-serving. People only think of themselves for the most part, and will just think, I don't want to deal with this, I don't want to whatever, so I'm just gonna not deal with it at all kind of situation. I don't know, but people will always think of themselves before they think of you. Okay. Number 2, no matter how much people will not like to be in a box, they will still put you into a box, and it's very hypocritical. So as much as someone will say, I don't like the way people judge me, I don't like the way people perceive me, I don't like the way that people are putting me in this little idea in their head, and then they do it back to you, that's another way of being self-serving. They don't want it happening to them, but they will never realize that they're doing it to other people. And it's just like, it's really strange, because a lot of the time in high school would not like to be pushed to do things, but now in my 20s it's like, not that I want someone to push me, but I wish people pushed me more, but they like kind of instead would put me in this little box and be like, oh well, she's not gonna like this anyway, oh well, she's not gonna want to do this anyway, oh well, I'm not gonna ask her because she's gonna say no. And it's like, well, I say, what if I said yes? Like, what if you just asked and I said yes instead of no this time? Like, you don't know anymore, because a lot of the time it was like people that I barely saw too, and well, the reason I didn't see those because I was never invited to things, but still, like, it was just people I rarely even seen, and I was changing without them knowing, and they were changing without me knowing, and it was just never together anymore. So no matter how much people don't like to be put in a box, they will always put you in a box, because again, people are always self-serving, and they'll always think of themselves more than they'll think of you or anyone else. Keep things to yourself, even if you don't think they'll hurt you. At some point, you don't have to tell everyone everything. Like, I used to have this friend that would tell everyone about this internship and be like, oh my god, we should all apply, but it's like, they'll only have a limited amount of spots, and then they won't get the spot, but all of their friends got the spot. And I was like, well, why would you tell them about it? It was a really great opportunity. Okay, but like now you don't have it because all of them, all the other ones have it, when you could have just kept it to yourself and maybe you would have gotten it instead of telling everyone about it. Maybe that's a little messed up. Maybe that's a little messed up, but I feel like for stuff like that, if it's a good opportunity and they didn't really know about it and they didn't care about it, and you only wanted them to apply to it so you could do it together, don't do that. I don't know how to explain it, but don't do things or make your friends do things just because you want to do it together. I feel like that's just like you're ruining your own opportunity and maybe even their opportunities and their time just to spend time with them in something that should be like something like taken a little seriously, I guess. I don't know. Just keep things to yourself. When you are applying to things, when you are doing something with yourself, when you're like anything that you feel like you want to accomplish, just keep it to yourself, because you don't know who's going to be looking at you the wrong way and is going to twist whatever might be good for you. They can twist it in a bad way and it just won't happen because of the way they're looking at it. You know, like negativity and the way people look at you and the way people judge you and blah 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 can actually impact your life. I don't know. Call me, I don't know how to explain it, astrological or whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like the evil eye, you know, in my opinion, it's like the evil eye. Don't take things too personally, but see it for what it is. Okay? I used to take things personally a lot because it felt personal, and to be honest, it probably was personal, but I should have saw it for what it was when it happens, because it's like, maybe I also didn't take things personally enough. I don't know. There was like a time in my like early 20s where I like had this group of friends and I thought like, oh yeah, these are my friends. They're gonna be like the best people in my life. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna be with them forever. And then suddenly that just did not happen anymore. And it's like some things were just like happening that I just didn't take too personally. And it was just kind of like, maybe I should, like, and I look back at it now and I'm like, maybe I should have taken that a little more seriously. Maybe I should have just like not let that go. Or there are some things that like I did take personally that maybe I shouldn't have. I should have just like let it go as well. Like, it was just like kind of a thing. But a lot of the time, like, those are the same friends that would like leave me out of things and like would say like, oh, I didn't think you would like it, I didn't think this, I didn't think that. And it's like, once or twice I get it, but when it's every single time, that's when it's just like, you gotta see it for what it is at that point. Like, it's just like, alright, first, second time I didn't take too personally, but now it's every single time, and I'm not getting invited to things, I'm not seeing you, you're treating me like I'm just some person that like, as if we haven't known each other for years. At that point, I have to see it for what it is, and it's just like, you don't want me in your life, and I'm like forcing myself in here, so I'm out. Like, it's just, it's not fair sometimes to be like, constantly like, what is happening and what is like emotionally and mentally, that's just so annoying, because it's like, I want to be around this person, but this person doesn't want to be around me. Okay, so what do I do about that? Because they say they want to be around me and they say they care, and this is just like the whole like trying not to take it personally part, but seeing it for what it is. Okay, I get that you don't want to be around me, I get that you want to be around these other people, whatever, but when am I gonna get to see you? And if it's just like never happening, that's when you see it for what it is. It's not gonna happen. It wasn't meant to be, and that's okay. See things for what it is, okay? Number 5. Appreciate the little things, but don't let it cloud your judgment. It's kind of like, just because someone's nice to you doesn't mean they're not a crappy person, or they're not a crappy friend. You know? Like, they can enjoy the time they have with you for sometimes, but it doesn't make it right for them to constantly like leave you to the side and toss you to the side and make you feel like you're like crazy and weird for just like wanting to be around them. But also, like, just because someone's nice to you, yeah, just because someone's nice to you doesn't mean they're not crappy. And it's something I also had to learn from my therapist, because I didn't know anything was a problem of what was happening in my life until like I told my therapist, because I didn't talk about this. I talked about a bunch of other things. But then one time I was just like, I don't really have much to talk about. She's like, well, how have things been with your friends? And then I told her like, oh, like I feel like I haven't seen them in a while. Like, I feel like sometimes, like, you know, they're just too busy with other people and blah blah blah. And it was like, I told him like so much like detail to my therapist, and my therapist was like, they're not a good friend to you. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, no, like they do this and they do that. And she was like, yeah, that's nice, but that's not a good friend. Like, they're like stringing you along and you just are waiting for them constantly. Like, that's not a good friend. And it took like months of her telling me that and months of me telling her different situations for me to finally realize, what am I doing? Like, I did let, like, the little things that, like, this person did or these people did that, like, it clouded me to the point where I was just like, no, like, everything's fine. But it literally had to, like, me randomly tell my therapist that something was happening. And it wasn't even, like, that big of a deal to me. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But to her, she was like, that's toxic. Like, that's weird. Like, it's not good. I was like, oh. Okay. So, yeah. Appreciate the little things, but don't let it cloud your judgment. Especially if you already feel like something's off. Just because someone does something nice to you, or like whatever, it doesn't mean that everything's changed and you're like perfectly fine now. We're like the besties now. Like, no. Like, it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. But I hope you guys get it. When something bothers you, say it in the moment. Don't let it build. And I do that. When something is bothering me, I will say it like within the moment or within the day, because it's like, I don't want this to bother me forever, because I build resentment. I hate it when I build resentment, because it's like, I don't want to hate this person. I don't want to hate these people. So when I say something, it's because I'm saying it for a reason. I'm saying it because, like, if I don't say it, I'm going to build resentment. But a lot of people don't understand that sometimes, so be careful, I guess. But there are people who do understand. Like, if something is bothering me that, like, my boyfriend is doing, and I just tell him, and sometimes it'll throw like a little, like, it'll be a little annoying because it's like a stupid reason, but it's like, if it's still bothering me after like a little bit, I'm gonna say it. And it is, like, for the most part, it's usually a stupid reason. So, but it's always still taken seriously, because it's like, okay, you feel this way, we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna move on, we're gonna come to a conclusion, we're gonna move on. Because it's not gonna be, it's like, a lot of people think bringing up confrontation is starting a problem, but in reality it's trying to solve the problem. It's only starting a problem if you take it as a problem. If you take it as a, oh, that's bothering you, okay, like, how can I fix it? Like, what can I do? Oh, I do this because of this. Like, it's just a lot of the time with problems between people, it's always like the people against each other when it should be the people against the problem. Even when someone is going through something, that doesn't allow them to treat you like crap, and vice versa. Never treat someone like crap just because you're going through something. They don't know what you're going through, especially if you haven't said anything. Oh my god, I hate it when people get so mean and, like, are so mean to me, and then a week later are like, oh, like, I'm so
sorry, like, it was finals, like, it was midterms, and I was just so stressed, like, I didn't mean it.
Okay, I was going through finals, I was going through midterms, I wasn't yelling in your face, like, it wasn't the same thing. But it's kind of like, that's also, like, always be nice to people. I don't explain it, just always be nice to people. But yeah, just because you're going through something doesn't mean you can be mean. It doesn't mean you can be an awful person. It means you need to go and deal with your crap by yourself. If whoever doesn't understand that you need to deal with your crap by yourself, that's the problem. But you need to deal with your crap by yourself. But at least let people know, hey, you don't need to tell people what you're going through, but it's like, hey, if they're constantly like, hey, what's wrong, blah, blah, blah. I just want to be alone. I'm dealing with something. We'll talk about it later. I don't want to talk about it right now. But the thing is, communication is so... people don't communicate anymore. And I don't know why. But people just, like, choose, like, to explain later rather than just giving them a, I don't want to talk right now, I'm going through something, we'll talk later. If you're gonna tell me later anyway, at least don't have me sitting here worried thinking like you're angry, you're like you hate me, you're like whatever, when all you can do is just be like, if I'm asking you what's wrong, blah blah, instead of like blowing up in my face or being like you're so blah blah, I'm going through something, I just need some time alone. And maybe that's asking for a lot, but if it's like, I'm just someone who really cares a lot, so if I'm sitting here like, well, what's wrong, like, you know, you don't want to talk, like, are you sure everything's okay? Me, and I'm not trying to be like psychology major, but I'm a psychology major, and I'm just trying to make sure you're not trying to yourself, like, you know, like, I'm you know, like, you never know, but people don't think about that. I probably, you know, I like to make sure the people around me are safe and mentally, like, stable. God forbid, though. You don't have to match everyone's energy all the time. Just because someone's up here doesn't mean you need to be up here all the time. But, like, yeah, you don't have to sit here and, like, pretend to be happy all the time. You shouldn't have to do that. Is this in focus? I hope this... Don't overgive, especially to people who haven't even thought of you. I feel like that's a little self-explanatory, but yeah, don't give too much to people because... Oh my god, this has not been focusing. Hello? Okay, it seems like it's kind of been focusing. I'm sorry. I'm like, I just filmed 15 minutes. I don't want it to be nothing. Okay. Be happy for yourself even if others don't understand. Okay, because there's so many things that happen to me and I'm just like, this is the best thing ever. It's the awesome. Like, I'm so happy that this happened to me. And then there's other people that are like, okay. And sometimes that can kill the mood. I'm not gonna lie, it can definitely kill the mood. Like, I remember this one time, like, I was so close to meeting my favorite band, and I told my friends about it, and one of my friends was, like, super happy, and the other friend was like, that's the closest you'll ever get to them. And then, one time, I was, like, graduating my community college, and I didn't even get to walk, but I was like, would you guys want to come to my graduation? Like, you know, if I have to ask for tickets, blah, blah, blah. And then, for some reason, the same friend that was like, you know, you never get that close to him, same friend was like, I mean, if we have time that day. To my graduation, and it was always like little remarks that some people like might think like, oh, you're overreacting, what if he was joking? But why? Like, every single time I make some type of accomplishment, why are you why? It was always so weird. Like, I don't know, if people don't celebrate you, celebrate yourself, okay? Don't take advice from people who aren't doing what you're doing. If you wouldn't take their advice, don't take their criticism. Okay, because it's like some people tell me like I don't know how to take constructive criticism or something like that, but it's not that. It's just like a little part of me doesn't care about what some people say because they don't know how hard it is or how like frustrating it is or how whatever, because they haven't like for this whole YouTube thing, they'll be like, oh, but you don't make videos that like people actually want to watch. Clearly I do, because some people do watch my videos, but it's like I'm just not sitting in my car eating 5,000 pounds of Chipotle, or like I'm not able to just travel and just like put videos of like people traveling and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not able to just do that. I have to do these sit down videos until I'm able to do that, and I hope you guys enjoy them anyway. But people do criticize my videos and be like, well, who wants to hear that? I mean, 200 people watched my caught in a situationship video. Was it that one, or was it the one of my videos? I think it was are you the backup friend? Yeah. But yeah, don't take advice from people who aren't doing what you're doing. It's kind of the same thing. I always say this too. It's like, if someone is judging your outfit and you wouldn't wear what they're wearing, who cares what they're saying? But yeah, if you constantly feel left out, it's probably for a reason. If you constantly feel like, why don't I fit in with these people? Why don't I feel like I like these people anymore? Why do I feel like I just want to go home? Why do I feel like I don't want to be here? You're probably outgrowing those people. You probably don't like them anymore. You probably don't want to be there anymore, and that's okay. A lot of the thing that I hate about people now is like, they'll push through too much. If you don't want to be there, leave. Stop pushing your mind and your body and whatever to do whatever you think you want to do. If your body is literally feeling like, I don't want to be here anymore, leave. Don't let FOMO get the best of you. Also pretty self-explanatory, because don't feel like you have to do things just so you don't feel left out. Like, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the time, if you don't have the energy, if you're mentally not there, you should not be going anywhere that like is gonna just trigger that even more or make that worse. It's okay to take a night off. Turn your phone off if you have to. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. You turn into the people you surround yourself with. I highly believe this, because I surrounded myself with people who like, oh, now it's believe, oh, okay. I surrounded myself with people who I enjoyed being around in a way of like, they also had goals and ambition and like thoughts and like good conversation, and it made me feel a lot more energized, made me feel a lot better to be alive. And then I also surrounded myself with people who did not have thoughts, did not have ambition, did not know how the real world worked at all, and would just constantly like complain about like minuscule things, and I would just be there like, there's much worse things in the world right now. But they were all like that, and all their friends were like that, and that's when I realized this is not for me. it was just too much. In my brain, it was just like, it was too much. Like, I was going through a whole other, like, ball field of what they were going through, and I was doing much more than what they were doing, and it just didn't align right. And I did not want to turn into those people. I did not want to lose my ambition. I did not want to lose my thing. Because the thing is, it was like, not only did I lose my ambition when I was like hanging out with those people, but it was also like they criticized everything that I was doing, that to the point where I stopped doing what I liked. Can you stop unfocusing? Yeah, they criticized me to the point where I just stopped. Like, I stopped making videos, I stopped doing whatever. Everything I did was weird. Everything I did was, I don't know, bad, or like, you know, I couldn't be different. I couldn't have my own personality. I had to be like boring like them. Take a moment before you speak and say the wrong thing. I wish I did this a lot, but I really don't, because sometimes I just like, because sometimes people do really need to hear it. But yeah, take a moment before you speak, because you don't want to say the wrong thing and then end up losing or your friendship or whatever. And some people think like, oh, like maybe if I apologize it'll be better. I don't know. Sometimes when people say things to me, I still think about it, even if I am still talking to you, because yes, words do hurt, and I will always look at you and think, oh, you're the person who said that I won't ever accomplish anything in my life. Yeah, no. Let people ruin themselves. It's okay for people to mess themselves up. It's okay for people to make mistakes for themselves. Let people ruin themselves. If they decide to ruin themselves, let them do it. Don't beg to be a part of anything. This also goes with like FOMO and all those other stuff, but like, don't beg anyone to be a part of anything. If they don't invite you and they talk about it in front of you, don't beg to go. It's okay to give the people closest to you some space. I wish I knew this at 19. I really did. Because again, I was the type to be like, well, I don't know if you're gonna like yourself or not. But reality, not everybody's gonna do that. But the thing is, I was so traumatized in high school that I really thought everyone around me was gonna themselves. So even if they were like upset or something, like it was just, and nobody really understood that. Then again, I never really talked about it, so I guess nobody would understand it. But it's okay to give people some space. It's not okay for people to just not know anything going on in your life, though. And I'm not talking about like drastic things, but it's like, it's insane to me that people would like literally be like, oh, I've just been so busy doing this and doing that, and it's not like super important things, but it's like not knowing about it kind of hurts sometimes. It's like, well, why didn't you tell me about that, or why didn't you tell me about this? Like, I would have loved to know the details on this and that, but it's because you're not that important to them. Like, that's just what I've like figured out. You're just not that important to them. They've done it once, they will do it again. They've done it once, they will do it again. If someone has screwed you over once and you've forgiven them, they will do it again. If someone has left you out once and you've forgiven them, they will do it again. If someone has cheated on you once and you've forgiven them, they will do it again. If someone has disrespected you once and you've let it slide, they will do it again. This is why when bad things happen that are like to the point where you like really feel like not talking to people, just stop talking to them. Because they will do it again if you keep letting it happen. You are not behind. You are right where you need to be. Live in today and worry about tomorrow when it comes. I used to worry about everything. I used to worry about yesterday, tomorrow, the future, 5 years from now, 3 years ago, like blah blah blah. Anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. Now I worry about what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing like today but later. What I'm doing at the gym later today. What I'm eating before I go to the gym. It's a lot more calm than thinking about, what am I going to be doing tomorrow? What am I doing in 5 years? How is this helping me do this? How is this helping me do that? Not everything you do has to help you do anything in your life. Sometimes, just take a nap. Worry about what you're doing today. Focus on me. We're already at 22, by the way. Oh. We're already at 22. Don't let small things ruin your entire day. By small things, I mean like a flat tire, your phone cracked, your favorite jeans are not washed, you know, stuff like that. Don't let that ruin your day. Don't let like your parent yell at you ruin your whole day. Don't let like your dog peed on the carpet ruin your whole day. It's stupid. Don't do that. Spend time with people spend time with people around you as much as you can. Oh my god. Because one day they will be too busy to hang out with you. One day people will find other people around you that you won't be able to see them anymore. Or one day you don't know what's going to happen. So make sure you spend time with people as much as you can. 24. Don't let others influence your decisions. Take advice with a grain of salt. And know what you think is right. So that pretty much means, like, just because someone else doesn't agree with what you're doing, take what they're saying in. If you resonate with it, then go ahead and do what you want to do or do what you need to do. If you don't resonate with it and you think your life is pretty good and you're pretty happy, then okay. A lot of people that like ask me for my advice and I give it to them and then they don't take it, they think that I'm like angry with them, that I'm mad with them because like they didn't take my advice. And the thing is, most of the time, now that I think about it, maybe they think I'm mad at them because like to a point I was right, but they just aren't ready to do what I told them to do, which is fine. But that doesn't mean I'm mad at you. Hello, Tiny. It just means, yeah, I'm gonna be slightly disappointed because you're choosing something that like you obviously is not benefiting you, but I'm not mad at you. Anyway, these are things I wish I knew at 19, because then maybe things would have been a lot easier. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, whoa, true, let me know. But follow me on everything down below, links and whatnot, and check out my Depop. I sell some stuff on there. Check out my TikTok, check out my Instagram, check out my last video, check my video later, subscribe right now so you know when my videos are coming out. And yeah.